Hello YouTubers, my name is Attila Mate from Blue Sky Photography, and today I would like to talk to you about the Panasonic FZ2500 and how do I deal with noise with Panasonic FZ2500. Now, I had a video a few months ago, and one of my one of my followers requested if I can make a video about this, how do I deal with the noise with FZ2500, sorry. Or 2500, because in US it is 2500, in Europe is 2000. And I will show you in this video, and I will show you what I do with the noise. Now, like we all know, the FZ2500 is a 1-inch sensor camera, and because it's a 1-inch sensor camera, obviously it will have some noise issues. It's not a Micro Four Thirds sensor, it's not a APS-C or full frame sensor, it's a small little tiny sensor. But in the same time, if you have light, and if you have good lighting conditions, you can have great results. And I did a few tests in my living room, just a few shots, so to show you in what is the noise ratio, in the images, is how do I deal with the noise. Now, I have to tell you, I'm not comfortable to use this camera over 1600. I don't really want to go over that, because if you go over that, I don't say that it's completely unusable, no it's not, but for me, I don't like it, for my taste. Now, obviously, like I said, this is my taste. You might have a different taste. You might think that this is acceptable. It's okay, but you have to try that, to see. I think that 1600 is kind of the maximum I would go with the FZ2500 with the noise. Now, I shoot a lot of rugby games, and I have to tell you again that these matches, what I do, they are pretty fast matches, and sometimes here in Ireland it's really cloudy, and I must have the shutter speed up, because they are fast moving subjects over there, and because it's cloudy, and the aperture is not really bright, it's not really fast on the Panasonic FZ2500, especially on the longer zoom ranges, I must crank up the ISO. So I am struggling a little bit over here. That's the only reason, I don't really use it, and most of the time I use my Nikon or my Fuji cameras, on the sports. When it's a bright sunny day, everything is fine, but when it's cloudy, and it's a little bit hazy day, the Panasonic will a little bit struggle over there with the noise. Now, let's get into my computer. I will show you some images in my computer, and I will show you what I mean by these noise problems, let's call it. Well, it's not a problem if you consider that this is a 1-inch sensor. This is normal, and if you know it and if you accept it, you can avoid it. You can add extra light if you have the possibility. But the example for sports shooting, bird shooting, you can't really do that. So let's get into my computer and let's see those photos and let's see what I'm talking about. So we are in my computer now, and let's open up Zoner Photo Studio. And I made, like I said, I made a few shots just in my living room over here, so I can show you the noise problems and why do I think that it is kind of not really good idea to go over 1600. Like you can see this first shot I did with 100th of a second, f2.8, and then it is ISO 6400. You can see up here the EXIF data, and it was on 8.8 millimeter. That is the crop factor is 2.7 on the 1-inch sensor, so you can just calculate that. I don't know now, it's still 16. It's like, yeah, the crop factor is 2.7, so it will be 23.76, 24 millimeter, I would say, the widest on the Panasonic FZ2500. This is the widest angle you can get, and like I said, it's ISO 6400. Now, I shot in JPEG and in RAW. So you can see, I will show the JPEG and the RAW as well, so you can see the difference, how the camera handles, the noise reduction in JPEG. Now, if you look, you can see over here, I will just make a little bit bigger, 1 second, because we don't really need that, we don't really need that, and we don't really need that. So you can see much better in full screen. Now you can see over here on this side that there is a lot of noise in this shot, and this is the JPEG shot. Now if I zoom in over here, you see the noise. I mean, that is pretty bad, and the detail is kind of suffering, you know. Over here there's no sharp detailing. I don't say that it's unusable completely. No, it's not unusable, but it is really bad. I mean, this 6400, it is really bad. Now, if we look at the RAW, this is the RAW file, the same photo, but it's the RAW file. I will show you the EXIF data. You see 100 of a second, f2.8, ISO 6400. And also you can see somewhere the name of the image. Just one second, I give this back. Yeah, there you go. You can see over here that 760 and 760, 761, 761. So I showed one RAW with JPEG together. So this is the RAW version of the same photo. Now you see over here the noise is still there, but in this situation, look at this, the color noise, you know, look at this. Now the RAW version of the photo will have this, yeah, this is because of the lens hood. I forgot the lens hood on the lens, because Panasonic FZ2500, if you look at the RAW files and you are on the widest angle, you know, the lens hood will have will be in the photo a little bit. You can see over here. That's why the JPEG photos are different format, because the camera will crop out automatically the lens hood from it, and the RAW files, they will have the lens hood in it. Now like I said, you see at the beginning, you don't really see that because the soft will crop out automatically, but it will jump in a minute. It will jump in. Now I tell you something, let's go back to the first RAW image. You see this, when you look at the RAW file, you can see that almost everywhere the lens hood is in it. Now we go back to the first photo, which is ISO 6400, and let's get into the editor side and let's see what we can do with the noise reduction. Now if I look in here at the couch, you know, you can see that the color noise is just horrible. It is a lot of noise. Now we go to the noise reduction. So remove noise, and we apply a severe noise reduction. It's like, let's say 72% on the brightness, and in the colors, let's say 80% of noise reduction. And you can see that it did a pretty good job. I mean, it looks really different than it used to be. Now if you look at this is how it used to be, and this is how it is. This is excellent, you know, it's really good. Let's make it bigger so you can see bigger. Now again, like I mentioned, I don't say that it's unusable, but I would not like it. I would not use it. Look at this, even after noise reduction, you know, the details are kind of gone. Now let's go further and let's see some lower ISO settings. Now let's not change that. We don't save that. So this is 6400. We want 3000. This is 5000. Now let's see ISO 5000. This is the JPEG image again. Let's see on the couch. You see the camera does a pretty good job, I have to tell you, when it comes about noise reduction. It's not the best, but it does a good job, you know, great job. If we look at the RAW image, and you can see on the RAW image in a minute, now you can see over here, it's horrible. The color noise is just too much, I'd say. So that is ISO 5000. Again, we could apply some noise reduction. There you go. On the couch you can see better. There you go. That's how it looks when the noise reduction applied. And this is how it looks when the noise reduction is applied by the camera. So I'd say the camera did even a little bit better job than this software, you know. Okay, let's go further down. So this is ISO 4000 now. Oh, let's go to the JPEG. This is ISO 4000 in JPEG. Oh, sorry. This is the one, JPEG, yeah. We go over here and we see that still the noise is getting better, the detail is coming back, but still, in my opinion, it is pretty bad. I mean, I would not use this. Look at this into the laptop, you know. The detail is there is my Fujifilm X-T20, you know, and it's just unbelievably noisy. Again, the RAW file, it will be the same, you know. It's very noisy. Look at the color noise, you know. It's it's bad. So let's go further down. This was ISO 4000. Now this is ISO, no, this is 4000 still. Just a second, we go down to 3200. Now, again, like I said, I would go until 1600. Let's see why. Again, you can see this is the JPEG, and the noise is over there. There's a lot of noise in this photo. The details are getting better now. A little bit better. Look at the laptop. You already see almost all the details of the laptop. You know, it's better. It's much better. But still, it is a lot of noise in there. Now, this is the raw file. Again, look at it. A lot of color noise. You know, unbelievably much color noise, I tell you. So, let's go back and let's go further down. So, this was 3200. 3200. Yep. What's going on over here? 1 second. 3200. Oh, this is 3200. Oops. Now this photo is ISO 1600 and the JPEG version of 1600. Now if you look at this photo, that's why I told you that I would use until here and no further. And if you look at this photo, the noise is still there, but this is like pretty usable. You look at the laptop, you know, the details, even here on the keyboard, you know, the side of the keyboard, the details, you can see that. And you can see on my Fuji cameras, almost all the details you can see. There's heavy noise in it, but this is still usable. So this is the maximum I would consider with the 1600 ISO on the Panasonic FZ2500. Again, if we get to the raw file, you can see over here that there is a lot of noise in it. Now, we apply the noise reduction, and you can see that it will do great job. You see over there. And it is excellent. I would say it's, well, not the best image quality possible, but in the same time it is usable. If you look at the image, you see the details on the couch, you see everything clearly. So that's the maximum I would use, in my opinion, on the FZ2500. Now let's go a little bit lower. So now if we continue going down, this is 1250 ISO. And if you look on the couch again, you see that the noise is even better now, and the details are better as well. So this is very much usable. Now this is very much usable. And let's not forget that this is 100% crop. You know, this is 100%. You can see up here, this is 100% crop. So this is 1250. If we go down to 800, this is 800. And you see that at 800, you see very small amount of noise, not too much noise. You see over here a little bit, but not too much. This is the JPEG version of the photo. And you can see now over here that already the keyboard, you can see the detail on this side as well, where it's very dark, you know, but you can start seeing the details over here. And let's not talk about my camera, you know, that you can see much better every button now. Okay, so this was 800, ISO 800. If we go down to ISO 500, you see that everything is good. You still have noise, you can see over here. Well, this is the 1-inch sensor. Obviously, you have to deal with it, you know. You have to realize that this is a 1-inch sensor, you know. You will not have that detail like with an APS-C. And if you know that, and if you shoot according to that, you can avoid these kind of issues. But these photos were made intentionally, so you can see the results, you know, what's the results. This is ISO 500. You see the details are there. Now there is a little bit of noise still there, but it's nothing dangerous. This is good. Okay, now this is ISO 500 again. 1 second now. Yeah, this is ISO 400. Yeah, great. I mean, this is, you can't complain about this at all. And this is 400. This is 400. Yeah, 400 was the, no, this is ISO 250. Now this is 250 ISO. Look at this. Yep, ISO 250. The photo is great, clean. The detail is not like I said. The detail is not like it's with an APS-C size, you know. But still, for a 1-inch sensor camera in these kind of situations, you know, it is excellent. I mean, the shutter speed is 1/40th of a second, f2.8. It was on a tripod, so I didn't, and it was a delayed shot, so I didn't push the shutter button, you know. And the camera was on a tripod when I did this shot. So let's go a little bit further, and I did something like this, you know, just so you can see in the darkness how the noise looks like. So this is a dark shot with a candle, you know, and you can see over here, this is ISO 3200, 1/125th of a second. And if you just zoom in, you see that the JPEG, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good. It's comparing, you know, that it's ISO 3200. It looks really good. Now, if you go to RAW version, obviously the RAW version will have a lot of color noise. You can see over here, yeah. It looks pretty bad. It looks pretty bad. So you have to apply a lot of noise reduction over there. Now, obviously you can apply, that's not a big issue. Now I don't want to go over with all these photos. Let's see this photo just a little bit. I will show you a few ones because it will be too long. Let's see this photo. This photo is ISO 6400. Now 6400, this is the JPEG version, and you see that the camera did a pretty good job. The details suffered a lot over here, you can see. But still, the image is okay. I wouldn't use this, but if you want to use it and you don't have any other possibilities, you could. But if you have any other option, you know, I would not do that. Now this is 12,800, and I have to tell you that this is very bad. I mean, you can see that the colors are going off. This looks really, really bad. So this is unusable, I'd say. This is 12,800. Now, okay, if we go over here, I did a shot with ISO 200. Now the opposite, which the ISO is really low, and you see that the image is a little bit underexposed, but in the same time the details are in there. And if I get into the editor and if I crank up the exposure, you know, with let's say 2 stops, yeah. So 2 stops, I cranked up the ISO 2 stops. You can see that it's okay. It's good, even if it was shot in a very dim environment. And the noise is there, a little bit of noise, but still the image is usable. Now if you look at this is the original shot. This is the other shot where I cranked up the exposure with 2 stops. Now let's say another stop, or no, another, just 2.5 stops. That is 2.5 stops. And you can see that the image is good. It looks good. Now over here the color is a little bit suffering down there, but in the same time, in the middle of the shot, you know, the detail is there. Look at there. You look at that. Yeah. So it's not the best, but like I said, let's not forget that we are talking about a 1-inch sensor camera. So, I mean, what could you expect from a 1-inch sensor camera? Okay, let's not save that. Now this is again with 12,800 ISO, and I tell you, you can apply whatever noise reduction you want. You just simply cannot repair this. This camera, look at it. This is the raw file.
it's just not possible to fix this. You know, it's really bad. I never would use at 12,800. You know, but look, the software cannot deal with it. You know, the applied. You know, the noise reduction applied, and look at that color. You know, it's unbelievably bad. Again, if I go to the JPEG, the camera did pretty good job. If we compare that, my software, you know, the zoner is not really able to handle with this color failure, you know, and noise reduction. So the camera did a pretty good job. But anyway, I hope that you have an idea now what's going on, and that's why I told you that I would not use over 1600 ISO, you know, this camera. I would not be comfortable. Let's say 3200 is the maximum when it's really necessary. I would go, but other than that, I would not do that, because it would the image quality will suffer severely. Now, ISO 200, you know, it's good. You have to add like you can see on the window over here. I illuminated my living room with my LED light, so I will have proper light, you know. But if you add flash, now if I would add flash, this photo would be much cleaner, because then I could do a completely different shutter speed, you know, and the flash is much better, you know, for these kind of things. But it would be that the more light you can add, the photo will be better. Don't forget that. So the smaller is the sensor, you need more and more light to fix the issue, and even then you will have some noise issues all the time, because the sensor is smaller, and especially because the megapixel count is pretty high also on this sensor, and that creates a lot of noise. So I hope that this video was helpful to you guys. I hope that you liked it. If you liked it, please like and subscribe and share my videos, and hit the little bell button near the subscribe button to get notified when I upload a video. And if you want to add something to this video, feel free and leave a comment down below. Or if you think that I left out something, or if you have an idea how to deal with the noise or something, please feel free and leave a comment down below. And other than that, I wish you a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.
You're a superhero.